We have a 360-degree report on Newsfirst tonight. Minister of Special Projects S.M. Chandrasena has pledged to give entitled farmers the payments they are due under the Farmers' Pension Scheme with arrears. He says that the government has initiated a strong program for this purpose. Newsfirst takes a look at what happened to the much talked about Farmers' Pension Scheme over the past 2 years.
The Farmers' Pension Scheme was established through an Act of Parliament in 1987 with the intention of sustaining farmers older than 60 years of age. When first initiated, the monthly stipend for entitled farmers was 200 rupees. The monthly stipend was thereafter increased on several occasions by the government, and when the scheme was suspended in October 2011, the monthly stipend was 1000 rupees. Speaking at an event organized to pay out Farmers' Pension Scheme payments to entitled farmers in Ratnapura today, Minister of Special Projects S.M. Chandrasena commented on the inability to make farmers' pension payments over the past 2 years.
The true story is that successive governments did not replenish the fund. That is why it collapsed. They gave away all the funds that were there, and in 2011 it was empty. The government intervened and the Agricultural Insurance Board is now under the Ministry of Finance. Institutions that are under the Ministry of Finance cannot falter midway.
The government took steps to reintroduce the Farmers' Pension Scheme from January this year. An allocation of 1 billion rupees was made through the budget for this purpose. The monthly stipend of 1000 rupees was increased to 1250 rupees, while the entitlement age was increased from 60 to 63.
The entitlement age was increased from 60 to 63. Who knows whether we will live up to 63? If only we could receive the pension payment in order to buy our medications. As farmers, we are truly disappointed. We gave our hard-earned money to the government, and now a strategy has been devised to refrain from paying this to us. The areas will not be settled. What are we to do then? There are 959,254 farmers who have made payments for the fund as per the Act. So the farmers have paid millions into this fund. As per this Act, the government is bound to make pension payments to the farmers when they reach the age of 60. When the entitlement age is increased to 63, it is a major loss for the farmers. The government has violated the law, a law that was adopted in Parliament. The other factor is that they have not mentioned anything about settling areas. At the very least, the government did not even make a statement that the farmers will receive payments for the 2 years in arrears. The arrears will be paid. The Agricultural Insurance Board has a major program in place for this purpose. As beneficiaries of the fund, the program has been prepared for you to receive payments of up to 5,000 rupees.
The 2014 Footwear and Leather Fair was declared open at the BMICH in Colombo today. Now, the 6th edition of the Footwear and Leather Fair, organized by the Sri Lanka Export Development Board, was declared open by Minister of Economic Development Basil Rajapaksa. The fair, which aims to showcase local footwear and leather product manufacturers and promote exports from the sector, was attended by foreign buyers from several nations as well.
Tonight on our investigative journalism segment Action TV, we feature one of our headline-making stories.
"450 families who abandoned their lands in Namalwatta, Trincomalee due to the war were resettled in mid-2000. A year before the resettlement of these families, preparations were made for the proposed Morovava rehabilitation scheme under the Peace Programme. The Japanese government provided a grant of 236 million rupees for the Peace Project, which was supervised by the Department of Irrigation. 33 months after the expiration of the Peace Project agreement on the 2nd of July 2011, Action TV revealed the fate of the waterways that had been constructed to ensure the livelihoods of resettled people as a result of the benefits of peace.
Since the waterway, which should have been constructed in a V shape, was made smaller and constructed in a square shape, the farmers are unable to obtain water and have been driven to despair. We cannot live here anymore. We are preparing to leave. Several families have already left. On one hand, there were floods, and nothing that was built by the Peace Project has been successful.
Unable to bear the consequences of the failure of the Peace Project, 250 families who were resettled in Namalwata have already abandoned the land again. The officials who implemented the Peace Project failed to renovate the quizzically shaped waterways, which failed to provide water to the villagers' farmlands, have also left Moravava. At present, water is not flowing to farmlands located closer to the Moravava reservoir than Namalwata either. This is because of a leak in the sluice of the Moravava, which was last renovated in 1983. While about 2,500 acres of paddy fields have been made barren as a result, a group of farmers took steps to close the leak in the sluice of the reservoir on Wednesday. This is because of the questionable nature of the procedure followed by irrigation authorities in searching for a solution to this problem.
They said they need to bring in divers to find out what has happened and repair it. We said we do not need the divers, and that the farmers themselves would provide the labor to repair this. We told them that we would explain to them what had happened. About 75 to 100 farmers have come here today and have sandbagged the area and are working.
While the farmers were engaged in this task, instead of providing them assistance, the irrigation officials at the Moravava reservoir decided to observe. In 2012, a sum of 10 million rupees was allocated for repairs on the sluice of the Moravava reservoir in order to stop the leak.
They spent money on constructing waterways elsewhere and bridges, but they have not taken steps to repair the Moravava, which is like our heart. They did not think of the hardships faced by the farmers and repair this. When
will steps be taken to repair the sluice of the Moravava reservoir in order to ensure that people resettled in Namalwata do not abandon the area again, and to ensure that those who withstood the war and continued to cultivate the fertile soil here are also not driven away from here? Director General of Irrigation, this is over to you.
Sports news, it's cricket. Sri Lankan batsman Kumar Sangakkara reached yet another milestone as he became the only player in the history of Test cricket after Graham Gooch to score 300 and 100 in the same Test.
Now he achieved this feat in the second Test against Bangladesh in Chittagong. Graham Gooch, the first to score a triple century and a century in the same Test, achieved it 24 years ago against India.
Now, Bangladesh resumed play on day 4 with an overnight score of 409 runs for the loss of 8 wickets in their first innings. They were bowled out for 426 runs earlier in the day. Coming into bat, their second innings, Sri Lanka lost Dimut Karunaratne for 15 runs and Kushal Silva fell later for 29 runs.
Mahela Jayawardene, who came in next, fell for 11. Kumar Sangakkara, who scored a triple century in the first innings, reached another Test ton today with a 6. He was undone for 105 runs. Dinesh Chandimal also scored an unbeaten 100 and Sri Lanka declared their innings on 305 runs for the loss of 4 wickets. Chasing a mammoth target of 467 runs, the home team were 12 runs for no loss at stumps and require 455 runs with 10 wickets in hand.
And you don't want to do that.
Yeah, this is the two
made it, but this is that funny old game of